Alright, here we are. We've ordered and received the rods and springs replacement kit here for this Whirlpool Cabrio washer here. I'm going to go ahead and do the transplant and see if this is the fix for that horrid UL code that stops the spin and keeps the laundry wet in the basket. So here we go. We've got we have 4 of these rods and springs with little blue caps. We should also have these little cups, or the bearings, so to speak, that are going to replace the original. We got 4 sets of these, so we're going to go ahead and show how this gets done. Of course, before starting any project that involves an appliance or anything that's electrical, you want to go ahead and unplug it. If it has a water supply, you want to go ahead and close the valves and disconnect the water supply as well, because we're going to need to set this washer on its back in order to get the job done. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the valves off and disconnect the water supply. These are quarter turn valves, so in order to turn off the water pressure, I've pulled them both forward, a quarter pull, a quarter turn. I'm going to go ahead and disconnect both the hot and the cold water where they connect into the back of the washer. I'll go ahead and use a bucket here to capture any leaks. Just to keep note if you which water supply hose connects to which side, hot versus cold. And prepare for some leakage, so have a bucket down below. Lay out some towels if you need to. And you'll want to go ahead and pull out the drain pipe as well of where it drains. And just set it aside also so you can pull the washer out and lean it on its back. In order to access the internals of the washer, we need to go ahead and slide the lid forward. In order to do that, we need to come around the back here. You've got a green kind of clip or hinge at either end. You need to just get a nut driver and unscrew that, the upper nut here, on do the same on the other side. Now it is a heavy lid here, so go ahead and take some tape and just tape it closed, so when I open it, it doesn't fall backwards. So I'm just going to tape it across the front here and then under this portion. Done. And you're going to go ahead and safely prop up right here. Now with the 2 screws removed, we're going to go ahead and grasp the washer lid on either side, kind of bring it forward, and we should be able to lift it upward if you can get it out from under the hooks that hold it in place. There we go. Okay. You might want to tape the lid closed, and you might want to hook it on something to secure it. Got this makeshift wire I go ahead and use here. Serve the purpose just fine. Alright, so what we're going to do here is you got these 4. You got the 4 existing rods with springs on them. Again, you've got the one left rear, right front, left front. Now what you want to do is you want to lift these up a little bit. It's going to require a little bit of force. Then you want to twist the plastic to allow the rod to slip down. You can then remove the cup, and then when we flip it on its back, we'll be able to pull it through on the bottom. Same thing on this side, same for all those. So let me go ahead and put the camera on the tripod and show you how we do this. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and put my arm down here, grab the rod itself, working on the left rear, lift it up, push the little cup down, twist it, and then release that. And bring the rod down. You might want to hook the rod on the back lip. Because the bin is going to sink down here when you do this. Then you can go ahead and pop the little cup out. There's some little tension clips here on the bottom. Alright, I'm going to raise the rod in the right rear side as well. As I've heard folks mention, there is a clip here where it clips on to some other Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get the right rear here. Going to go ahead and lift up the rod, twist. There's a lot of tension here, so I'm going to see if you can go ahead and get it to rest on the lip there, the hook at the top of the rod, so the bin or the basin doesn't fall through when you lean it on its back. Alright, for the fronts here, you go ahead and again grab the rod. It's under tension. You can grab it and hold on to it. You might want to have a glove on. Pull it upward. Then you can twist the cap so it's released, and then let the rod drop through. And then take this little cup and pop it out. And these are going to be replaced with the new pieces. And the same for the last one. You might want to have somebody assist you and support the weight of the tub, the basin, to reduce the amount of tension on the actual rod and spring itself, because it is under tension. Okay. And those springs and rods can be removed from the bottom and reinserted from the bottom as well. So that's what we're going to do now. One thing you want to do if you haven't done so already is the right rear rod. If there's any kind of a clip that connects to that, you want to go ahead and disconnect that here and now before you replace the rod. Alright, now that we've got the washer safely laying on its back, you want to come down to the underside. This is where we're going to go ahead and remove these suspension rods and springs, 2 from the front, 2 from the back. See here, just go ahead and draw it down. It's going to be like a little clip here. You want to make sure you just extract that and slide it out. And there you go. Here's the old unit. And I do the same thing for the other one in the front. Just pull it down It's a little clip you might need to help push it through from behind. Disengage it. And make sure you get that little clip out of there as well that it seats itself into. So, because there's going to be some grease here as well, so again, you might want to wear gloves to avoid that. Alright, I've went ahead and rolled the washer onto its face, onto its front, so now the gravity is pushing the whole basin downward, and now I can get to and access the rear springs. So I'm going to go ahead and pull those out as well. Remember that I had hooked them onto the little rail or the track on the back, so when I need to push a little bit, then to go ahead and be able to extract these out. Again, there's a little clip you'll need to release, and then it should all just come right out, and then you can remove that. And then the other side as well. And on the other side, this is the side that had the little clip or ran around the rod. Make sure you disengage that clip so you can then extract the rod without any interference. There we go. That's the last of the 4. Alright, looking at the new suspension rod here, something to take mind of is that it's going to be inserted from the bottom. This little blue clip is going to be pushed in, and it should engage and snap into the basin where it's already fabricated to accept that. There's also this little rubber washer here, and the basin has a little channel where you want to make sure you slide the rod into, and then the washer will grab it from the top. And then the hook at the top for the rear two, you want to hook them onto the railing on the back of the ledge, which will support the weight of the basin when you upright it. Alright, so here's a new spring. This is one of the rear sections here. I can go ahead and send the rod in. I want to make sure that I bring the rod into the housing with the washer above the little notch as such, and then you want to push up, and you want to make sure that little blue clip snaps in place. Yeah, that's pretty easy. It doesn't require much to get that part done. And then you want to make sure you hook the rod on the upper inner ledge. Go ahead and insert the other piece here. You see the little notch there. Going to run the notch, the washer above the notch, as such, and then push it up. And actually, you can even clip in that little clip if you push in enough. Yeah, that's it. We have the washer on its back. We're going to go ahead and insert the front replacements. Alright, here with the uprighted washer, and this is really a two-person job. Here I'm just a one-man show, so I need to stop the camera, do the work, and then bring the camera back on again. Hopefully, if you were able to hook the rods over that little ledge in the back when it's uprighted, those will support the weight of the basin in the back. In the front, you see here it's sagging, and the rods are down, and we're going to have to get those and lift them up as well. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put the little caps in here in these 4 holes its little grommets and do that. Alright, you should receive the new plastic hardware with the new kit. Here you've got these little caps. These just simply insert into the recesses left by where you removed the other ones. These other ones here, the hook of the rod is going to need to connect in over in this little insert notch, hook over this little ledge, and then it will be used to support the hook and the spring and the basin as such, like a ball and socket arrangement. So I'm going to put these little caps in for locations around the perimeter. As such, and the last of the four. Done. Now again, these are going to go ahead and be like ball and socket type arrangements here. Now you want to clip it into the notch in the center of the ring. There in the left front secured. I'm going to go ahead and work on the right front here. Now it's a two-man job here, of course, because the tub here sinks in because there's no suspension holding it upright. You're working against gravity. So the new spring is installed. The hook is inside the machine. I put the new little cup in. I need the little ball and socket piece here, and I need to bring that rod up the hook, snap it in the center here, and then hook it over the top, and this will sit in here. So this is what I figure works, because I'm going to need to use my strength to support the bin. I'm going to go ahead and fish this line here down inside the new little cup. I'm going to hook it under the J part of the hook, and then as I support the weight of the bin, I can go ahead and pull this up. Make sure I center that and pull that little hook through the center of this cup. Right, I've got this rope hooked under the J. Then I can go ahead and get this little ball socket inserted. Obviously, get someone to help you out here. So I'm going to go ahead and support the weight of this here. That frees up some slack. It brings the hook up. All right, you see? Now I can go ahead and push the hook through. You want to make sure it snaps in the center. And you might need to hit it with a hammer a little bit, or just tap it into place to make sure it's secure. I like to tap this whole machine with a hammer, but there you go. Alright, done. Alright, so the front here is supported. Now you just need to go ahead and get the back done. Alright, for the backs, your hooks are going to be under some tension. You want to be careful. You don't want to put yourself, your fingers, your skin at jeopardy here. But I've got the hooks in the back. They're supporting the weight over this little lip here. I can go ahead and get a screwdriver here to get them up and over, and then back down. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can use the same technique here to go ahead and get them up through the cups and into those little ball sockets. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and thread this back up and through. And I just need to get this up high enough to bring the hook through to engage it in the little ball and socket. You might need to lift the lid a little bit more fully to get it out of your way. There we go. Alright, 3 out of 4. Alright, and the last of 4 here using my not too scientific technique. Again, I should have 2 people here. However, I don't have the luxury of that right now. Just want to get it done. I'm stubborn. So I'm going to go ahead and just run this twine here, this braided rope, through the new cup, hook it underneath the J of the new suspension rod, put it back through, then I'm going to go ahead and I've got the new little cup piece here. I need to work it to the center, hook it in place, and then we'll be good. Might need to lift the lid up a little bit more vertically. Here we go. And okay, and I found that these need to be tapped into place, so that's easy enough. I'll move my, I'll let Mom see you do this. There we go. Alright, there we go. Alright. Alright, so there we have it. 4 new springs, rods, connected, rear, front. Alright. Now we've seen that this hopefully creates a more stable wash basin here. New spring should be tighter, and hopefully it'll eliminate that pesky UL unbalanced load issue. I'm going to go ahead and make sure everything looks good, and then we'll go ahead and get the lid back on here. Alright, we're going to go ahead and get the lid closed here. Watch out, it's heavy. Take the tape off the front. Now make sure you secure the top properly and slide it back. Might take a little bit of finessing. With the lid in place, you want to go ahead and get those little screws back in place on either side. And go ahead and alright, don't forget to go ahead and put the drain pipe back in. As well. And of course check for leaks once you tighten it. And with great satisfaction, you can throw away the old parts. Alright, and here we go with the inaugural load following the suspension replacement. See what the verdict is if this took care of the UL. Well, I'm hoping.